I used to get up at 5:36.
You gotta have more sleep than that.
I don't, I never have.
Threw them into
I average
vertebrae.
3 to 4 hours a night.
That's all I do. They say
It wasn't new.
That's just the way they roll now.
Yeah, well, that too.
it was within the guidelines of the fund.
If we hadn't gotten, $5 million more dumped on us,
Well,
it wouldn't have been so bad.
Oh, me
Hey.
too.
Huh?
we'd had a football.
All good. How you doing?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Go ahead and call the Tuesday, September 10th meeting of the Nanaimo Public Works Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Vice Chairman Bob Iverson.
Here.
Alderman Mike O'Kane.
Here.
Jim Pichard.
Here.
Carolyn Wands. Heidi Wilson.
Here.
Ed Butler.
Present.
Chairman Mike Poor.
Present.
7 present.
7 present. My goodness, that's the first time in a long time. Welcome, Heidi. Okay, we do have a quorum. Will be item 2, the approval of the minutes. These will be the minutes from the August 13th, 2024 meeting. If there's no corrections, need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Moving on to item number 3, the agenda. We do have the agenda in front of you. No, there are no deletions from the agenda. So need a motion to approve, please.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, my goodness, we're rolling right along. Moving into item number 4, audience comments. First, we will have 4A, a public hearing for the petition to vacate an alley at 209 Orchard Street for petitioners James and Ashley Roccatello. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of the alley vacation?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, come up to the podium and give your names, plees.
Okay. So it don't need to be closed.
Hi, my name is Ashley Roccatello. I live at 209 Orchard.
And my name is Eric Eves. I'm Ms. Roccatello's attorney, and I'm here to smooth the process in any ways I usually can.
Make sure that's on. Oh, there we go.
I'm done.
Okay. This is a time for, we act, you're the petitioner, so,
Our garage kind of sits on the alleyway, and it's been sitting on the alleyway since we purchased our house in 2017. So we're wanting to basically acquire the alley that our garage is already sitting on.
sure. Makes sense.
Essentially, this is one of those alleys that exists on paper, but you wouldn't know there was an alley there to
And I
look.
don't believe any of the departments had any problem with it. Right?
You want to comment now or you want it after?
Oh, we're just open. I mean, what the heck?
Okay. After reviewing this petition, so the resolution, if you'll note in your packets, it still states that there is an easement that needs to remain on the alleyway, which I don't think rectifies the issue that they're looking for. I understand the concern that I know that you bought the home after the garage was already installed on the alleyway. There is sanitary sewer running underneath the garage, and there are utilities. Ameren, I'm not sure if Comcast may be hanging from the poles that run up and down that alley. It exists for utility purposes only. They're right. It is tree riddled, shrubbery. You can't even tell there's an alley there, but it does exist for utility purposes. We have written into the ordinance there needs to be an easement remaining on this alleyway, regardless on its vacation or not. I will share that in the past 5 years that I've been here, maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago, the city did vacate small slivers of alleys, essentially dead-ending them. Typically, we would not recommend a sliver of an alley being vacated. Typically, it would be the whole alleyway, and then we would distribute partial halves of the alley to the adjacent property owners, if that makes sense. So utilities exist there, an easement would remain. I'm not sure if that would exactly fix their problem. I understand their concern, but there's quite a bit of infrastructure running up and down the alley.
So then in terms of an easement, we'd be talking about the city retaining a utility easement, the normal way into the municipal code.
Yeah, it would need to be just a public utility easement, since you're touching pretty much all the bases there.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't see any other way around that at this time.
Yeah, and
That's
you and I talked about
understandable.
that.
We recently
Yes.
just had someone access the sewer line recently within the last 2 months, so I have no problem with allowing someone going into my backyard as long as they give us notice, because we do have dogs.
I guess I'm more than speaking for precautions and notification to you that in the absolute worst case scenario, that sanitary line needs maintenance underneath that garage. I don't know when or if that would ever happen, but that would be the reason for the easement also existing.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But yes, that we would not have an issue with the city retaining a utility easement for these purposes.
So you understand, if it is vacated, it will be with the utility easement.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And we'll keep the discussion going with anybody else in the audience that wants to comment. If you don't, do you have anything else?
No, not
I
at
think
this time.
essentially the facts are fairly straightforward
Okay.
here.
All right.
Thank you.
We do
Excuse
have,
me, Chairman, did we get the attorney's name?
no, your name, sir?
Eric Eves of the firm of Acton Snyder.
Okay. Anyone else here to speak on behalf of the alley vacation?
I don't think he's by half of it, I think he's against.
Okay, now we'll open it up for anyone to speak against the vacation.
If I
Okay.
understand, they want to close an alley.
Just give your name and address.
Hi, my name is Scott Wynn. I live at 215 Orchard Street, next door to the Rockatellas. I really have no issues with the Rockatellas wanting that land vacated. I really have no issues with that. I mean, that's not why I'm here, so I'm not really against the fact that they want that land. My question is it specifically that land only and not the entire alleyway?
Yeah.
Because if it's the entire alleyway, how does it affect the rest of the residents on that street? Is what I really hope to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not against them if that's what they want to do in order to maintain that.
It's just for that portion right there. That's it.
Okay.
Just
I just
behind
want
our
to just a clarification, because I do have a fence line that runs north and south of the land that they're requesting east and west. And I just want to make sure that if you approve this, or you go ahead with the say, let's take it to city council, we think it's okay, is that going to affect that 12-foot land, that 12-foot stretch of fencing that I have on my portion that runs north and south and goes east and west of what they're requesting? That's my only concern.
Yeah, so the alleyway petition is only for the property directly to the north of their addressed parcel. That's the only legal description. If the entire alleyway were petitioned to be vacated, we'd have to do a complete survey of the alleyway and then vacate that as a whole.
Okay.
This is just to the north of their parcel.
So if you recommend it to go to the city council, that affects not that portion of my.
No, it just is behind their house.
Take their property lines, run it directly to the north in that segment of that alley.
Okay.
Okay.
That was my only concern
Okay,
about it, is if you decide to vacate, is there a possibility of the whole thing being vacated? And like I said, I have no problem with them getting the property that they have behind
Okay.
theirs in order to take care of their garage issues, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thanks,
you.
Scott.
appreciate it.
Is there anyone else to speak against the alley vacation? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing on the petition to vacate the alley at 209 Orchard Street. And we'll open it up for audience comments on public hearing for petition to vacate an alley at 920 North Gilbert Street for petitioner KBC Danville LLC. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf?
I'll cover it.
Okay. Logan's going to speak on behalf.
I
Okay.
can cover this. Working with Kirchner Building Centers as a part of their redevelopment and the redevelopment agreement that was passed some time ago, a part of their property to be sold to Kirchner Building Centers to the north of the prior Goodwill where we purchased all the properties to the north to be donated to Kirchner. There's an alley that runs north-south
Oh, yeah.
through it, and there's an alley that splits off to the west. That's it's in the map. That would need to be vacated for their expansion to the project. This is just procedural.
Yeah. Nothing unusual about that on a development like this to vacate.
No, it is all vacant land.
Yeah. Alderman O'Kane.
And no easement worries, no utilities or
So
anything?
we are going to maintain an easement right now on that north-south alleyway. There is a sanitary line until and if that sanitary line gets rerouted around the property.
Well, can we require them to make sure it's not underneath of any building or anything?
Yes, it will not be located underneath the building if they choose to not cover the expense of relocating the sanitary sewer.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, anyone to speak against the alley vacation at 920 North Gilbert? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing on that alley vacation as well and open it up for audience comments.
Anyone wish to speak this evening? Okay, thank you.
All righty. Thank you all very much for your comments. Moving on to chairman's comments, item number 5. I don't have anything to say today. All righty. Moving on to item number 6. The payrolls. Will be approving the payrolls for September 6, 2024. Need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on the payrolls? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. Item number 7 is approval of the vouchers payable. These will be the special run from September 6th and the regular run from September 10th, 2024. Need a motion and a second, please.
So move. Second.
Questions? Alderman?
What is Good Deeds Properties?
That was I believe it was the last city council meeting. That was the property acquisition that went through. There were 16 vacant lots included in that. Yeah.
They're the the umbrella organization for all
Right.
those.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I can't find it. There was a question about one of the intersections in cameras or something for 30-some thousand. I thought it was $30,000. Now I can't find it.
We received a grant,
That was the
for
grant.
that, for the police.
Is that what it? Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's fine.
Yeah, that was the one where they asked for 60,
know.
only got 30.
Is that for the police themselves, or is that just for traffic?
For the, I mean, it'll be, the police will use it for traffic, but also for, not enforcement, so it's not gonna be like giving tickets out or anything like
But
that.
it's just that one intersection alone?
Where was the intersection we put cameras instead of having them cut into the asphalt? Is that what that is?
That was at Fairchild and Gilbert.
Where they put cameras instead of having to cut into the asphalt and new pavement and stuff? Using cameras to activate it? Or is this the one on Gilbert where and Vermillion, they put
What
new?
line item are you on? I wanna be sure that I'm addressing you correctly, Alderman.
Let's say,
Is it the special run?
I don't think so. I thought it was,
No, special ones too small.
I don't know. I can't highlight anything on my computer and it show up here, and it just, I lose things. I guess I should write it down. If it's for that special, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
You're right, I haven't
Yes,
seen that.
it's at the new video detection at Gilbert and Fairchild.
Yeah, so that's that intersection. It's,
Chairman,
Right,
yes,
yeah.
that's correct.
I think we talked about that last meeting, matter of fact. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Wilson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands.
Yes.
Chairman Poor,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. Moving on to finance, Comptroller Sweeten, we have 8A is a resolution authorizing an agreement for provision of electricity for city-owned buildings and facilities. And B is a resolution authorizing an agreement for provisions of electricity for city-owned streetlights. Any objection with it taking those both together? If so, need a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Comptroller, anything?
Mr. McMorris will be here next week to present for council with the energy pricing, but his suggestion is that our contracts run out in November and
Okay.
January, but his suggestion is that we sign sooner before the Ameren delivery fees go into account.
Okay. So this will go with our,
We're not gonna vote on it.
no, we're gonna vote on it, but
Well,
unless you want to hold this, move it to full council.
Well, it said we're gonna get paperwork at the meeting, and the paperwork.
Well, he's going to have a full presentation with the current rates. The rates change every day. So even if we had today's rates, they would change by tomorrow when we would be able to sign. So when he comes, he's going to present with that day's rates. And then when it's approved, then we'd be able to sign the contract.
Okay, I misread because it says current bid for Tuesday, September
Yeah,
3rd.
it was supposed to come to last council and then he was unable to make it. So I just forgot to update the paperwork. I'm sorry. I'll update it before next week.
Okay. So we'll vote to move it to the full council, both A and B, the resolutions. Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Butler,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
I'm gonna abstain until I.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wants.
She said
Say,
yes.
okay, thank you. Wilson,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 8C, items of information. Anything, Comptroller?
Comptroller, any?
Oh, I don't have any other
Okay.
information.
Thank you for your report.
Chairman, I'll
yeah,
tell
is
you
that-
though, the comptroller, for this being her first budget, and she's doing a fantastic job. I also want to thank our deputy comptroller for all of her help. We really appreciate Kristen for
Absolutely.
stepping up and helping show her the ropes, and but it's going very well so far.
Good. Okay. Moving on to item number 9, Public Transportation Director White. We have your item of information and your monthly report. Anything pop out?
I just wanted to touch, August was our biggest ridership month since November of 20. Met budget-wise with the mayor today and comptroller. Things are looking good. Ridership-wise, which in return revenue, so things are looking up on our side.
Okay.
The only other thing I have, Chairman,
Yeah.
with your permission, would like to have permission to bring our fleet insurance to full council next Tuesday. I just finally got the bid in. Last year it was $328,000. This year it's down to $218,477. So
11,000 savings.
I was really happy with that when I got it. I didn't get it till Monday. So that's why I'm asking to be able to bring it to full council next Tuesday
We
evening.
didn't have time to get it on the agenda, so I said just bring it up and we can advance it.
You know, it's not, we don't do it on purpose. It's just in going through these, they want, there's so much information they want up front, and then it's a continuous questions until right up to their deadline. So, yeah, really happy with the premium though.
So it's just an item of information for us, but then he'll bring the full resolution to the council on Tuesday.
And then also, did you guys have any questions on the audit packets that I gave out to you guys? I think it was last week.
Insurance
Overall,
going
our audit
down.
was good.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, insurance
Especially
is
by
going up everywhere.
especially by a third.
Yeah.
By
New buses.
Sherman, I mean. Well, I think a lot of it reflects also on our team over there, because for the first time ever, when we had our transit audit and other things, we had no, like our, when they did the inventory and from the state and our assessment through the state, we had a completely clean report the first time. So want to thank former Director Beath for all of her efforts in that. Director White and all of his team. Those guys did a phenomenal job for us to make it with no marks at all. So good job.
Thank you, Mayor.
Right. Anything else, Director?
No, that's
Okay.
all. Thank you, sir.
So we'll just move that on to full council. Okay, moving on to item number 10, Public Works. Director Rui, we have 10A, an ordinance vacating the alley or park thereof pursuant to Chapter 30 of the City Code for James Nasty Roccatello, petitioner at 209 Orchard Street. Need a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
Okay, we heard all the discussion and the reasons. Any questions?
Chairman, I would just
Yep.
share, if I may, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Nguyen for coming today. When you emailed me, I was out on vacation and I'm still catching up, so I apologize that I hadn't gotten back to you, but I knew we would see you this evening also. Thank you for your questions, and given if there are no objections from the neighbors and no objections from our team, I think it's something that we should support. It would help. It would help. Mr. and Mrs. Roccatello with their property, and if we can do that, that's good.
Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Chairman Iverson?
Yes.
Alderman O'Kane?
Yes.
Pritchard?
Yes.
Wands?
No.
Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Hoare?
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Moving on to 10B, an ordinance vacating an alley or part thereof pursuant to Chapter 30 of the City Code for KBC Danville LLC, petitioner at 920 North Gilbert. Need a motion and a second, please?
So move.
Second.
Okay, any questions on that one? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman O'Kane?
Yes.
Pritchard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Hoare?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 10C is an ordinance amending the City of Danville ordinance establishing an enterprise zone within the City of Danville and Vermilion County to add territory and add unit of government to Danville/Vermilion County Enterprise Zone. Need a motion and a second.
So move.
Okay? Questions on this?
Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah. Bogus.
Yeah, I believe we may have made mention to this several months back. We've been working with the Village of Tilton probably for more than a year and a half now. This is quite a lengthy process to, essentially it was proposed to the City of Danville to expand the Vermilion County Enterprise Zone because our current enterprise zone does leave our corporation limits as it stands. If you go into your packets and look at the map, anything that is in the blue is existing enterprise zone, and anything in the red would be the expansion. So essentially, this was made possible by state legislation through the Department of the Chamber of Economic and Opportunity. That's where this program is reviewed and legalized. They expanded the potential of square miles of coverage up to 16 square miles in 2023. The Village of Tilton saw this legislation and proposed that if we expand the enterprise zone in their jurisdiction, they will front the cost for the City of Danville's expansion as well through a consultant. We thought that was advantageous as a partner. And as you can see in the map, we're gaining a significant amount of benefit throughout the City of Danville. This is more of a commercial-based incentive through sales tax, exemption, and property tax abatement. Really strictly for commercial and industrial items. There's some for residential, but this is a commercial item. So you'll see that we pretty much tried to cover every area in the City of Danville, at least on the thoroughfares, that has commercial development or the potential for commercial redevelopment. Thanks to Mumachu, we have exact numbers on from existing. We had 7.67 square miles of existing enterprise zone. That's what you see in the blue. The proposed addition to Tilton is 2.83 square miles in their jurisdiction, and proposed in Danville is 2.06 square miles. That gives us with a total of just shy of 16 square miles. So we maxed it out. The process is going to be, if approved by City Council, this will then go to state legislatures to be written into essentially law, with the legal description you see listed in your packet.
Logan, could you possibly explain for the council and the public as much so the advantages of enterprise zones and why this would be important to economic development in our community, whether it be here or in Tilton?
This is really, we only have two tools essentially to attract developers in the city of Danville, and this is one of them. Essentially, there's three basic incentives that are provided. One is half-price building permits. Two, once applied for and approved by the city of Danville, they get sales tax exemption on building materials. And that has to be items that are affixed to the structure, but it can be quite substantial. And three, for the larger projects, there's a property tax abatement that's stair-stepped, and I can give you that stair-step here. You can get 25% abatement for 10 years on an investment from $0 or $1 up to $250,000. From $251,000 to $10 million, you can get 50% abatement for 10 years. And then anything over $10 million, you can get 75% property tax abatement for 10 years. Now, this is not on the entirety of the property tax bill. It's only based on the improvement to the assessed value of the property. So they'll take a snapshot of what your property's worth right at the start of the abatement agreement, and then once it's reassessed, you get that percentage of abatement on the reassessment. So it typically, these are really, really sought after on new construction properties. My favorite example to use is the FedEx building. I genuinely don't believe FedEx would have developed in the city of Danville if the enterprise zone didn't exist, because the taxable value was of farm value. So we can call it zero for an example. And then they invested around $30 million on the site. And it was quite attractive to them that they can get a 75% abatement on basically 100% improvement. I genuinely don't think they would have came without that investment. So it's quite effective. Any questions on those?
Was that also Mervis property where they built?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you may say, Mayor Logan, why would you help expand this in Tilton and allow them to compete with us? A couple of reasons. Number one, this allowed us to require them to come up to the same building codes that we have. So now we're on a level playing field with them, that people have to follow the same rules to build in Tilton as they do in Danville, which that was not the case previously, right? So it makes it an even playing field for us. But the other thing is, I don't know about you all, and I know you all well, and I think you would agree with me in this, is that let's say, God forbid, they're not going to build in Danville. We would much rather have a new business built in Tilton than in Texas or North Carolina or, God forbid, overseas in China or Mexico. So I think this is a good way to not only help our neighbors to the south and be a good partner, but it also protects the greater interest of this area as a whole too.
Yeah. The city of Danville will be the zone administrator for this, so all certificates and abatements issued will come through our office for final approval, and we will be issuing the tax certificates and property tax abatements through our office. So we will still be the zone administrators. I like to think of it as, our neighbors to the west have a partnership name together, and I think this is a nice merger to where we can potentially have another development lingo name for our two villages combining. So I think it's a great partnership.
And I want to really thank former Mayor Phillips, Mayor Will, and the administrator Tiffany McClellan down there. They have been great to work with on this. We appreciate their partnerships because they helped us too, right? You see a whole bunch of spaces that probably should have and we would have wanted to include in redevelopment areas for us previously that we couldn't, and now we are, and they paid for that to help make it happen. So we just really appreciate the partnership of the Village of Tilton in this.
I did have somebody ask a question today. Permits. Who will administer their building permits?
So they have implemented their own building division, quote unquote. I don't know what the actual name is, but they will have their own inspections, and when required, They will have their own plan set system, electrical inspections, things like that. That was to be installed before the state legislators decided to pass in 2025. All communities need to have building codes anyway, but they intended to come up to par with us as well. Yeah, they'll have their own permitting section. Yeah, and be supplying the city with those documents per project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so otherwise, then if we want to, say, build a redevelopment, we could, or they can as well in those areas.
Yes.
I don't, can you please repeat the question?
Tilton would develop their own area, we would develop our own areas. Would we, or would it be joint?
Yeah, they would develop their own areas, but and they would submit their packets to the city of Danville for final review. But they will have their own co-administrator that will be submitting those developing those projects and then submitting them to us for review. So yeah, they would be developing their own projects. We would not be involved in that.
Yeah, and so in order to reap the benefits, taxes and all that stuff, will we be a recipient of some of the benefits, or just Tilton?
It would just be Tilton in this instance.
If it's
built in Tilton.
But if it's built here and like in our expanded areas here, Alderman, then we would receive the benefits of that.
Yeah.
It's just they're going to have codes to follow, just like we have codes, which was a sticking point before, because now everybody's going to be on a level playing field. And like I say, with all the new expansion, my gosh.
Yeah.
So many opportunities just opened up for us too, and this, in Danville for development.
This is a very heavily, and it may not seem, because this is kind of behind the scenes work, this is a very heavily used incentive. Pretty much every single project developed commercially in the enterprise zone goes after a sales tax exemption certificate, and they get half price permits. So we issue hundreds, if not thousands, of certificates a year.
Yeah, okay, because I can see that, so where we go way past Ross Lane, in those areas, okay.
Yeah, and we were in sections already in Tilton, in some zones, but we were so limited on the square miles we could cover, that just wasn't an option back then. Yeah.
I think you've already mentioned it, Chairman, but we knew about Tilton, that you were talking with Tilton, but when I see this map, man, that is really impressive for the city. We've got some areas that have long been out there needing to have some enterprise along some of the major thoroughfares. And yeah, Tilton was the reason, but boy, we sure came out
We came
good
out
on this
smelling
deal.
like a rose, yeah. Yep. Any other questions, comments, Alderman O'Kane?
I don't want to be a pessimist, but do we have any areas that could be developed that we've left out of this? That any large plots or anything?
So I guess this is a twofold answer. One, we did our very best to prioritize the areas that could fit within the square miles. We had to reduce a little because give Sam and I a red crown and we'll go crazy with it, right? But so we had to reduce some areas that we had included. But in the city staff opinion, we have encapsulated everything that would be considered the top priority for redevelopment.
Because the max was 16?
Max was 16, and
16.
we're right up to it.
Well, I just hope nobody finds another spot.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've covered every main thoroughfare in the city. I'm not very concerned about that happening. So, yeah.
Another small question. It says these abatements are, well, mainly for 10 years. There's 5 years for residential, which would be major residential projects. But it says this law is ending December 31st of 2030. What happens then with this 10 years? Can that be extended? Will the law
Yeah,
be extended
are
or
you-
what?
are you-
We pray the state will extend at that point because this is based.
Are you referring to if something gets a property tax abatement and then the enterprise zone ends in 2030? Yeah. So I've asked that question before. Those that were existing, since it's locally managed from a taxing standpoint, those agreements would still be in place if we ever lost our enterprise zone. Once they're set, the assessor's office has that rate, and it will go on for the life of that 10 years, regardless on whether or not we lose
Okay,
the
well,
enterprise zone or not. Yeah, I've asked
I'll
that
be an
question
Indian
before.
giver.
No, exactly. We get something done in 2029. Oh, next year,
Yeah.
sorry, your incentive is over.
And we've had the enterprise zone since the early 90s. So I think extension would likely be sought after in 2030.
Do enterprise zones also qualify for reduced utility location, things like that, or is that something different?
So not in the city of Danville. It is an option that has not been explored nor implemented in the city of Danville. I believe at the state level that can be applied for, and typically that's on major projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pashard?
Yes.
Yes. Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
4,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 10D is a resolution accepting an award from the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, DCEO. Need a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, who's that one? Or are there questions? Okay. See no questions.
What are we doing? I mean,
10D, resolution accepting an award from the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
I mean,
Yeah, what is it? What are the improvements?
anything in particular at the stadium?
It's the receiving the money for the Danville Stadium renovations. Our grant administrator probably put it on there, and I wasn't aware of it.
We in an allocation maybe 2 years ago, the state awarded $100,000 to make improvements to the Danville Stadium as part of that package, and we have toiled and worked with them, and after several grant administrator changes, they finally have provided for us this. We appreciate it. DCO, Director Richards and such helped to get it straightened out, so we really appreciate her efforts. But so this is so that we can accept it, so that we can do renovations. We'll be basically being able to put in right now our visiting teams are going into a locker room it's not even a locker room, it's really a dirt floor. So this will give them an actual locker room. It will actually also allow us to install a handicap accessible bathroom there, and also make some other improvements throughout the facility.
Okay.
It's all interior renovations, correct me, or is that how it's written?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And just barring different things that might arise and weather and whatnot, the intent is hopefully through this winter that all those repairs are done and ready for next season.
Can the city do some of the work themselves?
Yep, we're going to be doing majority of it ourselves.
That area sure did need it. That's not much for these young kids to out of town to come into a facility like ours, and the outside's beautiful, and then where they have to dress and undress, what have you, go to the restroom. It's pretty crude. Yeah.
They literally had to call, run through the entire facility, in between to even use the restroom. So this thank you to Alderwoman Wands and to Mrs. Cook, Jeannie Cook, for making us aware of this and helping us find a way to rectify the problem.
I have become more aware of recent months about accessibility, and that stadium is not all that handicap accessible. And I hope they will make some steps in that direction.
This will put the restroom right, probably from me to the folks in the audience from the lift to the restroom.
Yeah. And some of those stairs are like impossible.
Okay, other questions? Roll call, please. My gosh, I didn't know all the aldermen
Yeah, we
Sitting
You
over
guys
there.
are 10 strong
got a
tonight.
six.
Man. Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Wands?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
Four?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 10E is a resolution amending the contract for Denmark Road and the Old Ottawa Road Improvement Project. Need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, this one is tied into the Denmark Road, Old Ottawa Road project that we have been trying to close out. If you recall, the Denmark Road, Old Ottawa Road project started at Chateau Estates and went around to Old Ottawa with a shared use path and roadway improvements, and then went down Denmark Road, across the lake, and then up to the triangle there at Logan Winter and Denmark Road, and then improvements on Winter Avenue over to North Gilbert. And this was a approximately $4.7 million contract with Cross Construction. And as we were reconciling the end of the project, Cross brought to our attention there were multiple delays due to utility conflicts and also working around Stark Excavating on the Northwest project. And so for those delays, we have come up with a cost of, as you can see in the resolution, $63,631.95 is what this resolution is requesting.
Okay. Questions? Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Four?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. There's no objection. Take 10F and 10G together. They're both resolutions awarding contract bid 754 and 755 for the Clarence and Kinney Street sanitary sewer and storm sewer improvements, being paid for with ARPA funds. So need a motion and a second, please.
So move.
Second.
Or questions?
Well, one correction,
Oh,
Chairman. On the first one, which is the storm sewer, that is actually being paid out of the ARPA. This is one of the 6 ARPA projects that we're putting out to bid. This is one of the first ones. And the Clarence and Kinney storm sewer, or Clarence and Kinney sanitary sewer improvements is in the general location.
Okay.
And that's actually being funded by 402, which is our sanitary sewer fund.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw all these, I saw ARPA.
Understood.
Okay.
Since we were already doing the work in the area, you all know we worked hard not to tear up things twice when we go in and finish a project and do it right. So this will allow us to get all the work that needs to be done there simultaneously, which will save the taxpayers a lot of money.
Have we used S&C before? I don't recognize that name.
Yes, we're using them right now for the miscellaneous concrete.
Okay.
And then also for the Chandler, the 1300 block of Chandler is getting reconstructed starting next week along
Good.
with Vaqueta.
Good. Okay. All righty. Roll call, please.
Alderman Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Four?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 10H is a resolution awarding the contract for bid number 756, Utah and Nevada Avenue intersection and storm improvements. Need a motion and a second, please?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Anything?
Okay, yeah, this one is also a ARPA-funded project, with the exception of we did get the bids that were higher than anticipated. So in order to get the full amount, we're taking some out of the storm infrastructure. This is for intersection improvements for drainage and pavement intersections in the Utah, Nevada area. That would go from Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Delaware intersections. And it's a total of 6 intersections that are being approved. And this is all part of one of the stormwater master plans that we approved back in 2016. So this is another one we can check off and successfully take one of those plans and improve.
Okay. Questions? Alderman Bouchard,
I
question?
thought we'd done some work on Delaware for drainage several months ago. Is that still an issue?
Along Delaware?
Was that drainage? Yes.
This is the intersection of Delaware and Utah you're talking about? Because that's,
From Maine going south on Delaware. I thought we'd done some extensive work down through there, I thought. Maybe we didn't.
Director Rui?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I'm confused.
Cleveland and areas in there, right?
Maybe on Edwards, you're thinking
Edwards.
of Alderman, I think. It's
Okay,
right there.
could have been.
Yeah.
Edwards and Beard Street, yes, we have improved those in the
Okay.
last few years, yes.
All right.
Okay. Anyone else? Roll call, please, on 10H.
Vice Chairman Iverson?
Yes.
Alderman O'Kane?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
Wands? Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Orr?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 10I is a resolution approving the purchase of a street sweeper. Sweet steeper.
And it's a Schwartz Street sweeper.
Mine says street
And I was
sweeper.
thinking of our comptroller Sweeten.
Sweet.
Okay, yeah, new street sweeper. Need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second, okay. Dave?
Yeah, so this is for the purchase of a new street sweeper. So we're going to trade in. We've purchased in 2017 our Schwartz street sweeper, and have had nothing but issues with it, and it has been quite a costly piece of equipment. And so we've done an extensive amount of research and called many places to find out what the most ideal. This is a vac sweeper, just like the Schwartz is. Our other street sweepers are just mechanical brooms that are just brooming the street. This is actually a vac as well. However, the brand we're getting, we have been led to believe this to be the, I guess, highest of quality and most reliable that brand that you can get. And after talking to multiple locations, this sounds like the right fit. So. We're planning on doing this. We did look into, for this and the garbage truck coming up, we looked into lease options and what that looked like. But after running numbers, if we can afford to purchase outright, it saves the city money overall over the term to just buy them outright. So,
Dave, this is drivable. Like,
yep.
With the vacuum, everything built in, you don't have to dump into another. That's that. I haven't seen that other one out much at all.
It's because it's barely running.
Yeah.
It's just not reliable.
Yeah.
The Schwartz is not with it.
Oh my gosh, it was nice for about the first.
Yeah.
Until the first breakdown, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can turn the vac off on our brick streets.
Yes, I believe so. Yes. Yeah, we don't want to suck the sand out of the brick streets.
Yeah. Okay. Other questions? What's the timeline on getting that?
I don't know. I believe depending on getting this through and everything, they said they did have one like in stock, but that is typically a rarity, and if not, then they'll build. Yeah. So,
okay, with the trade-in, you're thinking of
yeah, and they'll hold that trade-in value when we sign contracts and everything. That'll be a guaranteed value. So,
okay, so 314,805 can't go over 315, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman O'Kane?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
Orr?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. Item J is a resolution approving the purchase and fiscal year 24-25 budget amendment for a 2024 automated refuse truck. Need a motion and a second, please?
So move.
Second.
Okay, people wonder why we have a garbage fee, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, Mr. Carpenter has, I think, a couple years ago, the last time we purchased a truck, he explained how flabbergasted he was at the garbage truck prices. And this one is about $50,000 more than the last one we bought. So he was quite surprised. So as you can see, we do have to pull a little bit of money out of the 405 reserves to be able to purchase this. So because of that, this is what triggered this price of this is actually what triggered us looking into lease options and what that might look like. But after pulling all the numbers, it just doesn't. It makes sense maybe down the road, but right now it saves the city money to go ahead and purchase outright.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
What is that amount, Dave?
what's that?
That amount for that garbage truck?
It's $384,000.
$384,000 for a garbage truck. So that's why our garbage fees, not on top of the dumping fees and everything else. So
Yeah. And those numbers keep going up. And unfortunately, I would say that garbage trucks probably see the most wear and tear because they're running all day, every day. If we have workers clocked in, they're in a garbage truck running, and that truck's running. So those trucks are very, very heavily used and see a lot of miles and a lot of wear. So,
questions?
Just a comment. What color is this one going to be? I can't tell on the bottom. They're all different colors.
So what I believe, what Mr. Carpenter has told me is this one's also sounds like it's sitting on the lot ready to go. So we're hoping that we're able to get it into service rather quick.
So you don't care what color it is.
Nope. As long as it can hit the road.
And this is an automated one with the arm.
Yes. So this is an automated one. It is we have moved to a new brand. We had, once again, we like to do all the research and make sure that we're getting the best bang for the buck. So Labrie has quite a name for themselves as far as reliability goes. And bringing it in, and all of our mechanics looking at each one of the different brands decided and felt that this was even more reliable than the new ways is what we have a few of the new ways, which our mechanics are also very high on, but this one's built even a little bit more solid in their eyes. So we're gonna give this one a go.
And the lease would have been a Peterbilt?
Yes, I think so.
Questions? Comments? Roll call, please.
Alderman Pashard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Hoare?
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. Item of information, anything?
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, we have made a hire. I don't know if those of you know, our operations manager, Patrick Sargent, has left and gone to another place of employment here in town. So lucky for Danville, we've gotten to keep him in town. He did a very good job. However, we've made a new hire. It's actually an internal promotion, so we love to see that. We love to help see our people grow from within, and so that's what's happened. We have it'd be Tom Parsons is a mechanic. He's been working on our fire trucks for a while. He's actually got a pretty extensive leadership training from the military. He still serves in the Guard, yeah. So, and then the only other thing I was going to say is just wanted to wish Administrator Cronk here a happy birthday. So,
It's his birthday?
yes, it is. He decided he really wanted to spend it with us. So,
I don't have to lie about my age anymore.
Well, he's got a baby at home. I understand why he wants to be here. rather than home.
Wouldn't rather be anywhere else. I do have one item.
Okay.
Just for an update on the IDA home repair program, we know that there was a pretty tight deadline on this rehab grant. In the last 6 months, I'm not going to take any credit for this. I'm going to pull a note from Director Rui's book. The community development staff has managed to not just meet the 25% threshold, they just smashed it. So I have to give a large bravo and thank you to Mumuchu, who was a massive integral part in creating this program, Christina, who has taken on literally 80 to 90% of administering this program, Tess, just anywhere you need her, she's been there. Our building safety staff, and our building inspector, who was brand new when we received this $1.4 million. Imagine that. They've been integral in meeting this and smashing the goal out of the water. We have no concern of losing this grant, and we're going to continue. And we have another threshold to meet next September, but the stress is out of the way. So right now we have encumbered over $450,000 in projects in a matter of 6 months, and that's including creating this program. So bravo to our small staff that was able to take on this extra, literally burden for the last 6 months, but it has served the residents greatly. There's more than 14 rehabilitations active right now in the community in this short amount of time. So bravo, big thank you to the community development staff. They've just crushed this program. So
I'd say just in addition to that, the current one of the city electricians who came from that division, we even asked him if he could step over and help meet the deadlines. He came over and helped. Oh, yeah. And one of our past employees who's retired a while back came back and helped get some of these write-ups done just so that we could push to get this done. So, and I would say he won't take any credit, but bravo to him for pushing as hard as he did and pushing me to help give him some extra resources to make it happen. But everybody made it happen, and I think that's just, I think that goes to show whether they're past employees or are not in positions, they're always we have a good group of people that have worked for the city, whether it be now or in the past, and they all help and come together to do what's best for the city. So.
Great. Congratulations, one and all.
All right.
Okay. Item number 11, closed session. There is no need for closed session.
Oh, thank you.
So we'll move on to item 12, items of information. Anybody else? Other alderman?
I got a quick question for whoever. When's is it Hazel and Jackson streets that have been closed, when they get back open?
Hazel and Jackson.
It's my understanding that they should be open probably within a week or two here, because they're needing to move over to Walnut. I think it's the next stretch of roadway, but they ran into a few snags there with the water main, and then I think there was an electrical hiccup as well.
So is this going to cost us more money?
Don't believe so.
Like the Denmark Road did?
Don't believe so.
Okay.
No change orders.
Huh?
No change orders.
No change orders so far.
I try and go that way every day, and I can't.
Well, how long you known it's been closed?
It's been closed for 2.5 weeks, I think.
Quit going that
or
way.
3
You
weeks.
should learn.
Yeah, go another way.
Yeah.
Take another route.
Yeah, Aqua had a couple service lines. The fire and service line to the Wolford was right in line with the storm sewer, so that put a delay. And again, I think there was a electrical or gas issue also in that general area there.
Now you have it.
I can't do anything about it. I just
Put GPS, enter GPS, and it's bad. It's an alternate route.
in my 2006 pickup. Yeah.
One other item, Mayor, this coming Thursday evening at 6 o'clock at the, I think it's called Faith Ministries Church. It's on North Bowman. It's the one where you would turn in to go into Holiday Hills on Holiday. It's the church. It's got the big arch in it. It used to be a Methodist church, but it's under another administration now. But Mariah Hanson from the Women's Care Clinic will be our speaker. And if anyone can drop by, give a buck or something, or even she was asking for anything that baby uses. I'm a new mother, like diapers, Pampers, that type of thing. You just come by and drop them off. We usually serve finger foods from 6 to 6:30, and then at 6:30 we turn it over to the speaker. It'll be a very interesting and worthy time to spend a few minutes. So if you can, come on out.
You might be one of the few neighborhood groups still meeting, aren't you?
We do.
Or you are meeting too?
West Downtown is also.
West Downtown. Yeah.
I have an announcement to make. So we have a public engagement meeting this Thursday in Public Works Building at 5 p.m. It's for the 2024 ITEP application that we'll be submitting. It's due end of September. It's for the pedestrian path improvements along the North Bowman Avenue and East Voorhees, from like the Crestview, North Bowman until Michigan and Voorhees. And public engagement would be a very significant like a part of the application. So if it is, I would like to mention it is partial part of the Ward 6, Ward 3, and a part of Ward 4. So if anybody could just pass along the information, and we also have the survey up in our website. If you could forward that and just attend the meeting, that would mean a lot. So.
And that's what time, Thursday?
Thursday, 5 p.m. And, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Committee members' comments, anything? Okay. We almost made it in an hour.
Close enough.
All right, having satisfied the agenda, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.